Today we will study the northern mountains. Northern means the mountains which are lying in the north side of India. The mountain ranges lie in the north and eastern part of India. The mountain ranges, you can see here in the map, these are the mountain ranges highlighted in blue color. So these are the mountain ranges which lie in the north and northeastern part of India. This is the north part of India and this one is the northeastern part of India. The northern mountains include the Himalayas and the Karakoram mountain ranges. So in the northern mountains there are the Himalayas and the Karakoram mountain ranges. Two ranges are there. Which are they? The Himalayan range and the Karakoram mountain range. So they are the highest mountain ranges in the world. Can you believe they are the highest? Means they are the topmost mountain ranges in the world. The Himalayas extend for 250 kilometers from Jammu and Kashmir in the north to Arunachal Pradesh in the northeast. So the range, the extent means where they are situated in Jammu and Kashmir, that is for 250 kilometers in the north to the Arunachal Pradesh in the northeast. And it is about 450 kilometer wide in Kashmir. In Kashmir region it is 450 kilometer wide and narrows down to about 160 kilometer in the northeast. Can you see here that it is narrowing down 160 kilometer in the northeast? Now, what the word Himalaya means. In Sanskrit, the Himalaya word, it means a daub of snow. A daub of snow means house of snow. It is the house of snow. A lot of snow is present on Himalayas. It is covered full with snow. Most peaks in the northern mountains remain covered with snow throughout the year. Their peaks means their topmost part in the northern mountains, the north side mountains, they remain covered throughout the year with snow. 9 out of 10 highest mountain peaks in the world are the Himalayan range. So you can just imagine that how big they are, how highest they are in the whole world. Means out of the 10, the 9 mountain peaks are the highest in the world. The world's highest mountain peak is the Mount Everest, which is located in the Himalayas. Mount Everest is the world's highest mountain peak. And where it is situated? It is situated in the Himalayas. It is in Nepal and is 8,848 meter high. So this is very important. What is the height of Mount Everest? Its height is 8,848 meter and it is situated in Nepal. Remember this, Mount Everest is the highest mountain peak. It is located in Himalaya. So the Karakoram range, as earlier I told you that the northern mountains include the Himalayas and the Karakoram mountain ranges. Now the Karakoram range, we are talking about the Karakoram range. In the northernmost range, it is in the northernmost range. Karakoram range is in the northernmost range. It is located in Jammu and Kashmir. Karakoram range is located in Jammu and Kashmir. Mount Godwin Austen is also known as K2. This Mount Godwin Austen is also known as K2, is the second highest peak in the world. First highest peak is the Mount Everest. Its height is 8,848 meter. Second one is Mount Godwin Austen. It is also known as Mount K2 and it is the second highest peak in the world. And it is how much in height? It is 8,611 meter in height. Now, many brave men and women showed courage and climbed the snow-covered peaks of the Himalayas. So, many brave men and women, they tried, they succeeded. So, who were they? We know, everyone knows that Saint Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay were the first to climb Mount Everest. They were the first person to climb Mount Everest. Bachendri Pal was the first woman to climb Mount Everest. And among the women was Bachendri Pal. The Himalayas now can be divided into 3 parallel ranges. The Himalayas, we divide it into 3 parallel ranges. Parallel means which are running side by side. Those are known as parallel ranges. So first one is the Himadri. Himadri is the greater Himalaya. Second one is the Himachal, that is the middle Himalaya, and the third one is the Shivalik, that is the outer Himalaya. So it is divided into Himadri, Himachal and Shivalik. So Himadri is the greater, the Himachal is the middle and Shivalik is the outer Himalayas. Now we'll read and study about these parallel ranges individually. So now first of all, the Himadri or the greater Himalayas. The Himadri, it is located in the extreme north. Himadri is in the extreme north. Most peaks in the Himadri region remain permanently covered with snow because it is a lot of cold over there, so they are permanently covered with snow. Glaciers originate from these mountains. From these mountains, what happens? Glaciers are a slow moving mass of ice. Some pieces come out of these snow-capped mountains and then they start moving towards the river, and they are the pieces of ice. So glaciers originate from the greater Himalayas, the Himadri. And what happens? River Ganga starts from Glacier Gangotri. River Ganga, it starts from the Glacier Gangotri, and Yamuna from Glacier Yamunotri. So as you can see, Ganga Gangotri and Yamuna Yamunotri. So you can remember by this phenomena like Yamuna Yamunotri and Ganga Gangotri. Now several other rivers like Brahmaputra, Indus and Satluj also arise from glaciers. So the rivers like Brahmaputra, Indus, Satluj, they also arise from glaciers. Ganga, Yamuna, Brahmaputra, Indus, Satluj, they all arise from glaciers. Now the Kanchenjunga and Annapurna are the 2 of the highest mountain peaks of these ranges. So, what are the 2 highest mountain peaks of these ranges? Kanchenjunga and Annapurna. You have to remember this. Second is the Himachal or middle Himalayas. Second one is the Himachal or middle Himalayas. The Himachal is to the south of the Himadri. Of course, it would be to the south of the Himadri because it is in middle. These mountains are not as high as the Himadri range. Himadri are the greater. That means their height is above all. So they are not as high as in the Himadri range. The mountain slopes of this region are covered with forest of pine and deodar. Now we see some forest in this range. So the forest consists of pine and deodar trees. This range has many beautiful valleys. Now it is surrounded by beautiful valleys. Many beautiful hill stations are there like Nainital, Mussoorie, Shimla, Srinagar, Kullu, Dharamshala, Darjeeling. You must have visited these places, etc. are located in this range. So whenever you visit hill stations like Nainital, Mussoorie, Shimla, Srinagar, Kullu, Dharamshala, Darjeeling, you have to remember that it is located in the Himachal or middle Himalayas. You are visiting middle Himalayas whenever you will visit these hill stations. Now the third range, parallel range, is the Shivalik or the outer Himalayas. As the name suggests, Shivalik or outer Himalayas, that is, it is situated in the outer part. So the northernmost is the Himadri, then towards south to the Himadri is the Himachal, then is the Shivalik, that is the outer Himalayas. Shivalik ranges are located in the extreme south. There are hills rather than mountains. Hills means mountains are the big ones, hills are the smaller ones. So the slopes are covered with thick forest. Obviously there would be some vegetations, there would be trees, forest, and which are home to variety of wild animals. So where there are forests, there are wild animals, so there are variety of wild animals. The foothill of the Shivalik is known as Terai region. The foothills means the part where the hill ends, and so the foothill of the Shivalik is known as the Terai region. What it is called as? Terai region. It receives heavy rainfall and the land is fertile. The land there is very much fertile and it receives a good amount of rainfall. The government has also developed many sanctuaries and national parks here. So there are many sanctuaries over here and there are many national parks here, and amongst them Corbett National Park and Kaziranga National Park help in afforestation and protection of animals. So the two national parks which are located in the foothills of the Shivalik range, they are the Corbett National Park and the Kaziranga National Park. And what it is meant for? It is meant for afforestation. Afforestation means planting of trees, forest, and they also protect animals. In the northeast are the Purvanchal ranges. Then when we move towards northeast part, there are the Purvanchal ranges. Purv. What does Purv means? Purv means northern. Purvanchal ranges. Famous Mizo, Garo, Khasi, Naga, Jaintia and Lushai hills are a part of these ranges. So these are small hills which we have named them like Mizo, Garo, Khasi, Naga, Jaintia and Lushai hills are the part of Purvanchal ranges. Now we should know what is the importance of the Himalayas. We should know this because Himalayas plays a very important role in our life. The Himalayas are very important for our country. Why they are important? They help us in many ways. What are those ways? They form a natural wall on our northern borders. We have a northern border and the northern border separates India and China, protecting us from the extreme cold winds. The Himalayas, what they form? They form a natural wall and they protect us from extremely cold winds. They also protect us from the enemies. Okay. Now they check the monsoon winds and cause rainfall. So they block the monsoon winds and they prevent us from extreme cold. So the forests in the Himalayan region are home to several wild animals. Many wild animals they stay there. That is their home, the forest in the Himalayan region. Many rivers originate from the melting snow glaciers. Just like I told you, Ganga, Yamuna, Brahmaputra, Indus, Satluj, they all originate from the glaciers. The forests in the Himalayas are the source of wood, medicine and other useful things. So we get many things from those forests. Now life in the northern mountains. How the life is there in the northern mountains. A number of states are located in the northern mountains like Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Sikkim, West Bengal, Assam, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, Tripura, Meghalaya and Arunachal Pradesh. Now first of all we'll study little bit about Jammu and Kashmir. Jammu and Kashmir, it is cool in summers. So it is cool in summers and it is very cold in winters. It is almost mountainous, means it is surrounded by mountains. So we call it as mountainous. Its natural beauty attracts tourists from all over the world. Srinagar is the summer capital. Remember this? Srinagar is the summer capital and Jammu is the winter capital of the state. Jammu is the winter capital and we call Srinagar as the summer capital of the state. This is very important. Now something about Jammu and Kashmir, their culture. Kashmiri, Dogri, Urdu and Ladakhi are the languages spoken here. So the languages spoken here are the Kashmiri, Dogri, Urdu and Ladakhi. It has two lovely lakes. These are very famous lakes, the Dal Lake and Vular Lake. There are houseboats. There are houses on boats and they are known as houseboats and they float on the lakes. These houseboats, these are used as hotels and some small boats are known as shikara. You must have heard about shikaras, like you can see in the pics. Shikara, right? These are useful. They are used for selling flowers and vegetables. Now the people of Kashmir make beautiful handicrafts from wood, brass, silver and paper mashes. Some people weave silk and woolen clothes. Kashmir is also famous for hand woven shawls and carpets. And saffron means kesar. It is a special crop of the state. Now the main festivals celebrated here are Eid and Shivratri. So the main festivals celebrated in Jammu and Kashmir are Eid and Shivratri. The traditional loose kurta worn by men and women in Kashmir is called Firan. The traditional dress of Jammu and Kashmir is Firan. The Kashmiris use small kangris. What are kangris? Kangris are the small pots with burning coal to keep themselves warm. So what the Kashmiris do to keep themselves warm? They use kangris, and kangris are the small pots with burning coal. Okay, people drink kava, a special type of tea. So kava is a drink. It is a refreshing drink. It is made of saffron and many other local spices, local dry nuts, and so it is a special type of tea made in Kashmir. Srinagar, Pahalgam, Gulmarg, Vaishno Devi and Amarnath caves are some of the famous tourist destinations. So these are the tourist destinations of Jammu and Kashmir. Now, second is the Himachal Pradesh. Himachal Pradesh is a beautiful state with lot of places which attract tourists from all over the world. Shimla is the capital of Himachal Pradesh. Shimla, Dalhousie, Kullu, Manali, Chamba, Dharamshala are some of the tourist places. The toy train of Shimla is a special attraction for the tourist. So these are the hill stations of Himachal Pradesh, and some of the places you must have visited. Now, most of the people here are farmers. In Himachal Pradesh, most of the people are farmers. The climate here is ideal for the growth of fruits like apples, cherries, plums, apricots, and peaches. The traditional dress of Himachali women include tight pajamas and loose kurta with colorful scarves. The men wear tight pajamas and loose shirts with colorful caps. People speak Hindi, Pahari, Punjabi, Kinnori language. Kullu is famous for its Dussehra festival. Kullu is famous for its Dussehra festival. Now the third state is the Uttarakhand. Uttarakhand was separated from Uttar Pradesh on 9th November 2000 and became the 27th state of Republic of India. So, when was it separated from Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand? It was separated in 9th November 2000. It includes Garhwal and Kumaon ranges, and Dehradun is its capital. So, what is the capital? Dehradun. It is also called Devbhoomi. Devbhoomi because many temples are located in Uttarakhand. The slopes are covered with thick forest of pine, oak, deodar and fir trees. So these are the trees which we will find when we go to Uttarakhand. Most people here are farmers. Here also most people are farmers just like Himachal Pradesh. Mussoorie, Nainital, Ranikhet, Haridwar, Kedarnath, Badrinath, Gangotri and Yamunotri are popular tourist places. Amongst these, Haridwar, Kedarnath, Badrinath, Gangotri, Yamunotri, what are these? These are the holy places. Now, Sikkim and West Bengal. So, Sikkim is the small state in the northwest India. It is the small state in the northwest India, bordered by Bhutan. So, Bhutan and Sikkim are close to each other. Tibet and Nepal. So, Sikkim is bordered by Bhutan. Remember this, that Sikkim is bordered by Bhutan, Tibet and Nepal. Okay, now it is a home to glaciers, meadows. Meadows means thick grasslands and thousands of varieties of wildflowers. So it is a very beautiful place overall. Gangtok is the capital of Sikkim. Remember this, Gangtok is the capital of Sikkim. Kanchenjunga, the third highest mountain peak, is in Sikkim. So also remember this. First one is the Mount Everest, second one is the Mount K2, and third one is the Kanchenjunga, which is the third highest mountain peak, and it is situated in Sikkim. Mainly 3 tribes live here. What are the name of the tribes? Lepcha, Bhutia and Nepali. So these 3 tribes, Lepcha, Bhutia and Nepali, they stay in Sikkim. The women of the state wear long skirt called baku. They wear colorful jewelry made of gold and beads. Sikkim is famous for its beautiful orchids. Orchids means garden of where the fruits are planted. West Bengal is a state in eastern India between the Himalayas and the Bay of Bengal. West Bengal It is a state in the easternmost part and it is between the Himalayas and the Bay of Bengal. Its capital is Kolkata, earlier known as Calcutta. Darjeeling is a hill station situated in the northern part of West Bengal. So where is Darjeeling? Darjeeling is in the northern part of West Bengal. It has many tea gardens. It is famous for its tea garden. Remember this? Nobel laureate Rabindranath Tagore belonged to this state. So Rabindranath Tagore was from Darjeeling. Now Sikkim is the least populous state in the world, in India, with only 6,10,577 inhabitants, means people. Now we'll study about northeastern states. Towards the east of India, when we move towards the east of India, there are 7 states and they are called the 7 sisters. This is very important. 7 sisters. They are called as the 7 sisters. So what are the 7 sisters? Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Meghalaya, Manipur, Mizoram, Nagaland. Okay. So Arunachal Pradesh. It is the large state. Its capital is Itanagar. Remember the capitals of the states. The Brahmaputra river enters India through this state. This is also very important. The river Brahmaputra enters India through Arunachal Pradesh. It enters India through this state and its capital is Itanagar. Now, second one is the Assam. Assam is known for its wildlife, archaeological sites and tea plantation. So 3 things are very important in Assam, that is wildlife, archaeological sites and tea plantation. Dispur is the capital of Assam. This state is also famous for silk. So Assam is famous for wildlife, archaeological sites, tea plantation and is also famous for silk. The capital of Meghalaya is Shillong, which is a beautiful hill station. The name Meghalaya means the daub of clouds in Sanskrit. Means there are a lot of clouds. When you look at the sky, you would see that the sky is a house of clouds. This state is in the wettest region of India. So Shillong, Meghalaya is in the wettest region of India. Remember this. Meghalaya is in the wettest region of India. Garo, Khasi and Jaintia are the tribes of this state. Each tribe has its own culture, traditions, dress and language. The capital of Manipur is Imphal. This state is famous for things made of bamboo, cane and leather. Manipuri dance is very popular and Manipur is the home to many sports. Capital of Mizoram is Aizawl. Literacy rate of Mizoram is very high. Remember this, that literacy rate of Mizoram is very high. The capital of Nagaland is Kohima. The Nagas wear beautiful shawls. Rice, maize, millets and oranges are grown here. Tripura is surrounded by Bangladesh on 3 sides. So its name is Tripura. Tri means try. So it is surrounded by Bangladesh on 3 sides. Remember this, and its capital is Agartala.